Welcome. I'm going to show you how to make this pattern. It's called a weave and it is an overlay mosaic pattern and it goes into the round, but it's a rectangle, so not a square, so our start is different. If you see this pattern, I'm using a tablet because I'm paperless office almost. I try. You see here the width and here the length, and you see it's both different, and we start from the center, so it starts from the center out. I use Knit Companion, which is an excellent app, and I would advise it if you use a tablet to use it, because what you can do if you open the page tabs, you can see this pattern has 7 pages. It might shift a little bit because I'm still adjusting the pattern along as I go. You see, this is the start page. Page 2 is how much yarn you use, abbreviations, and how the chart is signed and without. And then you see here the first chart, and I will show you, I will zoom out a little bit. It's the width, so it's the short side of your pattern. And you see, you come here almost in a magic ring. And page 4, this is the length, and you see it shows you the length. And what is nice of all those shifters here, you can shift around and see where you are in the pattern. Like if we now starting 0 here, and you see here again a 0, and that's our start, our setup chain, which we will make first. You see that 0, it's almost like you have a magic ring, a chain, and a magic ring, and that's exactly what we're going to make. It starts differently than normal overlay mosaic crocheting around, and that's because of the rectangle. And I will show you how we go along the way, and we will start with round 1 here. So let's start. The pattern says with the lighter color chain 3. Well, I am a very tight crocheter, really. You have no idea. People make 2 meters blanket where I only have 125. I just crochet very tight. I don't know how to crochet else. So instead of chain 3, I will do a little trick for the tight crocheter under us. I will chain 4. Normally 3 chains will do, but I will do 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I will connect this loop going on the boat here and connect it with a slip stitch. Now, first, let me put a marker there so I know where my big loop is, because I always lose my big loop. Somehow my big loop disappears and I try to crochet every single crochet in my small loop. So let me just mark it to be sure. This is where I turn around, and you see my yarn is a little bit sloppy with knots and things like that. It's because I use this yarn for my tutorials and I ripped it out often enough when I'm testing my own patterns. So don't worry, normally this yarn is very good, but now not. So we're not going to make single crochet, we make the slip stitch that we pull through. And see, we got our first ring almost. Then the pattern says make 42 more. Because I'm a tight crocheter, I make 43 more, and the pattern says join in the 3rd loop. I do the 4th loop, so I have again a bigger loop than 1 stitch more because I'm a tight crocheter. So let's do that. This is 1 and 43, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Normally you stop here, but because I'm a tight crocheter, I do one extra there. And now, normally it says the third, that's here, but because I'm tight, I know, but look at this is really with a big hook number 6, and it gets this tight already. So we do 1, 2, 3. I'm going into the fourth, but if you say, ooh, that will be too loose for me, I'm going into this one here. I will go in here, there, and I make my first single crochet. But before I do this, let me first mark the ring I make, because otherwise I won't find it. So just put your stitch marker around it, or not. It depends if you want to mark it. I will, because I will lose my loops. I really will. And then you know where your loop is and where your first stitch. So my first single crochet. Now I made a stitch extra, but I went a stitch deeper. Look, you got here 2 loops, both ends, and your chain. Now the pattern says 30 more, 38 more single crochet, so in total you have 39. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, I've changed hook. I forgot to tell you that. 6, 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, hey, halfway, I'm over halfway, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. If I can make it, then we have 30. But see, I don't know. I'm a very tight hooker. A very tight hooker. That sounds so bad. And now I lost my count, but I think I was with 30. So 31. I will recount every stitch when I've done this. 31. 32. 33. 34, 35, 36, 37, and the last one, yay, 38. And use it. What you do now is what you know of me when I change yarn and color. Let's get your hook out and go here in the back, pull through. My yarn is a little bit ugly because I ripped it out so often when I test patterns, and I use this for tutorials and testing patterns, so I don't have to spoil yarn. This is the color, and I love the contrast of this color. Look, we've got our loop here, our 39 single crochets, and a loop there. There. Now we can start our pattern and hope we counted correctly, otherwise I have to fulfill a little bit and to add an extra stitch here and there, but I think I'm okay. My setup is always horrible. I always have to trial and error a little bit, but once round 1 is done, it's fairly basic overlay mosaic crochet in the round. Okay, let's do round 1. Going to do round 1, and first we change color. Let me do that. And because I'm a tight crocheter, you don't have to do it, but I like it. I add an extra stitch here, there, because you pull it a little bit tighter here and everything goes so better. I want this yarn already clear here, so we can bring that along our first single crochet. And our first single crochet, let me look, because it's not that one, it is this one. See, here's our big ring. Put my stitch marker in it and a big ring, and this is my, let me look, this is my next 1, 2, 3 single crochets here. So I should get this one, and that one covered. Okay, the back loop only. Let's start that. That's simple. So you need to take care in those corners. Only 2 yarn. Now go away, reds. I will sew it in when I'm done. I'm not sewing this one in because I am going to use this yarn again for the interlocking filet crochet. Why not? There. And our color is nicely guided. What do I have here? Nicely guided here. And it is ready already to use in row 1. Now we drop the yellow color and we did our first single crochet. And the pattern says here, let me explain that, and now I have secured that work a little bit. It is not a normal corner here. It says it's a C3. And if you look further in the pattern, it says SD, and that's also new. It means a single crochet deeper. And if you go to the abbreviation, you see C3 and a whole explanation text, blah, 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 blah. And you can see how it's done. And also, I already highlighted it, here in SC, single crochet deeper in the setup chain. We're going to do first with the C3. And I'll show you that here. Okay, so we got our first single crochet, it said, and then it says a C3 is a chain 1, and then we're going to do our single crochet in the big loop. And I left some yarn there. See, I need to do it here. It's weird, but it's true. It's there. And we pull it a little bit out, and we do a single crochet, a chain 1 again. And we look at this, and this is the third back loop. Yeah. Oh, it's not only a back loop. I think I went to both. There it is. A single crochet. So what is a C3? A C3 is a single crochet here, a chain 1, a single crochet in the loop, and a single crochet in the third. Let me explain it again. It's a single crochet, a chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet. There. And 1 is done in the first, then in the big loop, and then in the third. So first, second, third. Now we can drop this one because we had our loop. We're going to investigate further. And we get as pattern, oops, it's a little bit runny and fluffy here. As pattern we see now, we're going to do a deep single crochet. A deep single crochet means that you use your whole your whole setup chain. Normally do a single crochet a back loop. Well, you would do it here, but now we do it in the front and it goes deep in. So let's find that first. You can mark it with your marker too, but I'm going to use there. This is my first deep single crochet. Look, your last single crochet. Look, here it is. You just have to find it. And we make a deep V. Here, a deep V. There, we made our first deep V. Yay! A deep single crochet or a single crochet deep. The next one is a normal single crochet. You could do back loop only, but what I do is just put my hook to both chains, to both loops, not both change loop, change loop, and then I have a higher single crochet. So I did one repeat, a deep one and a single. The next one is going to be, you have to look at the bottom. This covers up this stitch, that covers up that stitch, and the next one deep will be here in this V, and see, this is the little loop, the double loop here, and this is the deep double crochet we make, and then we make another single crochet and the repeat is done. Then look at your pattern and you see one single crochet going in deep. Go find your loop, use that bottom, use those loops, those double loops here, the V, like that, and we're going to make another deep double crochet. See, I'm getting 2 V's here. See, and we get our yarn, pull it through and make another deep single crochet. Pattern says now 5 single crochets high, 1, normals, 2, 3, 4, ooh, oh, 4 and 5. Well, if I can do that, no, it's here. 5. Got it. We check our pattern again. Keep checking because this is the basis, the basics of your whole pattern, of your whole work. Because if this isn't correct, nothing is correct. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's see what stitch is covering, which stitch is covering what stitch. This one is going there. 2, 3, 4, 5. See, take your time, and now you see we need to go to make a deep V here. See, a deep V there. Get your yarn, pull it through, and make a deep single crochet there. You see the difference already. This one goes deeper and makes a bigger V than the small normal single crochets. And we're going to go continuing our pattern. It says a repeat, a deep one, a high one, and the next one is a deep one. Find the stitch, make a deep one, make a single, and make a deep one, and make a single, and we finished with our repeats. And we're going to find the stitch you need to use again, make that deep one there, and then 5 singles, 5 high single crochets, 1, oh, I didn't put all the yarn through, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a deep one. Let me check if I covered all the stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we covered all the stitches, and you know immediately you need to have this one. We're going to do a deep one, 1, and a single. That's the first repeat. And deep, I almost want to do a double crochet. I'm so used to that. Single, and the third, deep, and a single. Let me check if I covered all the stitches. This one is there, that one is there, this one is here, that one is there, that one is there, that's there, that one is here. We're going to make one more deep. It's very important you check your work, and I hope you can see me that I didn't shift my hands out of the screen because I'm concentrating on explaining, and sometimes I can go there. So I hope it's still in the shot, otherwise I will reshoot it. I will check it first. And we got 1 2 3 4, and now I'm doing 5 high single crochets. 1 2 3, oops, 4, 5. Check your work again if everything is covered. 1 2 3 4 5. So we're going to make a deep double crochet here. We repeat 2, a single crochet there, so higher, and a deep one here, and we end with that one. And then our pattern says, oops, I'm losing yarn here from my hook. Shouldn't do that. Oh, what am I doing? I will go one back. Sorry about that. Just lost my yarn. What did I do? The last one was a high one. We do a deep one now. Can't pull that. See, that is because I use this yarn so often. So I did 1 2 and another high one there, and now the deep one here. And look, we are at the end of our work, almost there. There's this stitch, see, stitch here, and then we do our corner, our C3. That's what the pattern says. We do our deep corner, we do our C3 corner. You see this stitch is a little bit wider. That's nice, I like that. So it says back loop, and this is not the back loop. This is the back loop. Yes, this is the back loop. Chain 1, and this one is easier because I added an extra stitch. Chain 1, this is not a chain. You can also do 3 double crochets in the corner instead of a chain 1. See, chain 1 you can do, and instead of the chain 1 single crochet, chain 1, you can do 3 single crochets. I had to think about that sentence, but I prefer the change because then you have immediately the spot where your corner is. I can drop that now and go into the back loop here. Come on. Where is my back loop? This is that stitch there. Come back loop. Now it doesn't want to go there. Back loop, and still didn't get all the yarn. I don't know why. Maybe I get a little bit tired because it's the 5th take or something, because then I say something wrong. And we're going to follow the pattern, which looks a little bit normal because we see the normal double crochet coming back. You see this V here covers this one. So our first double crochet is different. We have no lower front loop, 2 rows down, but we have these little upside down V, this little pyramid here, and we're going to use that one because this is our first double crochet of the whole pattern. And as you see, you have nice yellow part here, so double crochet, and we're going to see which it covers, and then we're going to do our single crochet. And now it looks a little bit normal again because that is taking the back loop over that single crochet. And now we're going to take the yarn over again, and again follow the pattern with those double crochets and single crochets. This is a 2 repeater, and then it says double crochet, double crochet, first a single, Then the repeat is done. We done our double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and we do our double crochet here again, and then 5 singles. Take it. It's why I fold my work up, because like this, you think this is my first stitch, I need to use the back loop, but when you put it straight, you see it's this one, and it's on the opposite of this stitch, so it should be this back loop. So check your work, check where you put your hook in, 2, 1, and do 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and straighten your work up again, and then you see you had that back loop, and now you're going to do your double crochet, follow the pattern. It's 3 repeats, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and so on and so on. And see, I'm doing not this, I'm doing that, so I can find the next back loop to take. And take your time for this, because it's the whole setup of your pattern. Did I take both loops? I'm not sure, so I take my hook out, going to check. I'm going slow, because the next rounds will be easy peasy, really easy. There. See, second one, single crochet, and really check your pattern. Hold it straight, not in a bow, because really you think you will take your wrong back loop. Oh my god, my English is horrible, like usual. But even if I would do it in Dutch, it would be the same gibberish, because it's not easy to think and to do and to explain at the same time. So you can switch off the sound, mute me, and still follow how I do it. Still straight. See, if you do this, you think it's this back loop, but straighten it up and search for your next back loop to do 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, a double crochet. Oh, and there it is. Double crochet here, single crochet, double crochet. You can get, oh, okay, no, I don't know. Come on. Single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and then 5 single crochets, and a double crochet again, a single crochet. Oops. After the double crochet comes the single crochet and a double crochet, and a single crochet. There's the last one, and a double crochet, sometimes you have to force it. If it don't fit, just force it. There. Oh, I only took 1 loop. Now 1 boat loops. That's important. Boat loops. Now I got both. And I didn't make a double crochet because I forgot to put my yarn over. Why do I make such a messy tutorial? Maybe because we all make mistakes. And you learn from your mistakes, really you do. Trial and error is a very proven test. Didn't get all my yarn. There's a little string left. still left. See, I leave it like that. Don't see it. The yarn is splitted. See, that one, I forgot that one. Shit, don't see it, don't see it. Pretend you don't see it. Pull it through. This is what you used from me. We're going to do mosaic crochet in the round as from here. This was the most difficult part of your work, of the whole blanket. Really, this was the most difficult. Now you just follow the pattern with all the normal items you are used from me, like a single crochet, a double crochet, and a corner. Okay, I hope you got it. I'm okay with this. It's really nice. You see it's 4, 4, 3, 3, and the corners. Can't fit it all there. I hope you... and now we will continue with round 2. Welcome back, and round 2 is fairly easy. We keep the red yarn, put it over the yellow there. So we mix that yarn in very well. We change color. As you used to me, 1 and 2. Pull the red a little bit, not too much. And we're going to find our first slip stitch we made, or first chain we made in the previous to make our corner. And look, here they are. See, and that's why I prefer single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet on a corner, because they're so easy to find now. So we're going to do our yarn back loop here to make our first corner. And our first corner is what you used for me: a single crochet, chain 1, a single crochet. That's it. That's all. And then it says in the pattern a single crochet again, and that we do above the other single crochet here. And again a corner in the next, and a chain and a single crochet. And you see, we can follow the pattern now, and it's easy. So the pattern says 3 single crochets. Oh no, the pattern says 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets, 1 double crochets, and so on. I will put the text of the pattern here. I'm struggling a little bit with the yarn. It doesn't want to come how I want it. So we start with our double crochet, and look, that's convenient. That one is here. Now we're going to find the front loop, do a double crochet. Don't pull it too tight, because otherwise you get those big loops, but normally they will settle in. And then it's 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. And it says 1 double crochet. And now we have to find our loop. Which one shall we use? We have a few here. Now this one leans a little bit forward and this one leans a little back. So you need to put both your chains together, and we take this one. This is the loop we take. A double crochet, and then it says 7 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now be consequent. We use the first loop there, so we take this one for a double crochet, and then it says 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet. Take the first loop there, this one. And again 7 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. and a double crochet, this one, and a single crochet 3 times, 1, 2, 3. I need to pull yarn through. There, 3, and a double crochet, single crochet 7, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and a double crochet, 3 chains, 3 single crochets, and a double crochet to end, and then a corner. A double crochet. Now this is more difficult, but we see a nice loop here. We're going to abuse a little bit. Hang on, need to get it. No, it's this one. Like, be consequent, use the same everywhere on. Okay, this one. Don't pull it. I pulled it too hard, see? Because my yarn came up and now I pulled it too hard. No, come back, stitch, come back. It will settle in, but I don't like, see, here it already starts to settle in. It will eventually, look, it settles in. And then we're going to do our first corner, and look, it's right here. This is covering that one, and because we put the middle one in the loop, we know that is the middle one, so we need to do our corner here. See, these are the 2 corners. Hope you can see it. This double crochet is covering the single crochet here, and now we have the back loop of this one, and we make a first corner there, and it's a single crochet, a chain 1, and a single crochet, all done in the same back loop. And now the pattern says again a single crochet, and we start our next corner, a single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet, all in the same back loop. And look, it starts to grow. See, here is our pattern forming and coming, and the pattern now says we're going to repeat it now. Everything that says in the pattern will be repeated twice, once on this side and once on that side. So this was already our first repeat, and we started our second repeat already here, because that corner is already the second repeat. Okay, we start. We says a double crochet. Now I'm going to put that under that V, because it's so, oh, I need to get only the V and not the red yarn, because it's so loose there. You could do it there, see? And now I got this one. That's the only difference in round 2 with normal interlocking. And then it says 3 single crochets, and again I'm going to get this stitch, see, going to go behind it, see, then you get a nice strong cable in the middle, and it doesn't show those horrible loops. We could have taken this one, but I like it when you go yarn under both of these loops, and it shows it better. And then it says 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why this is a little bit different than normal interlocking, because if we normal interlock we would have the V here, but because we use the V already and we need to use it twice, it's nicer to do yarn over. Don't pull it too tight. Oops, need to put yarn over here first. Yarn, hook under, pull your yarn through and make a nice loose double crochet, and then again 3, 1, 2, 3, and a double crochet, The same meaning. Go under those 2 loops and a double crochet there. 2, 3. See? Now you have a nice start up. It's looking neat. It's looking clean. It's looking very clear where you have to put your next stitches in here. And you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we do a double crochet here. And this you won't see, this nice double crochet like this, you won't see it in the next videos because this is a retake. I started taping my pattern or video tutorial with one stitch too less in my setup chain, and so it wasn't the correct amount, so I had to do a retake. So this is a retake of a retake of a retake. You have no idea sometimes how often I click and delete the video I just made because, or I made a stupid remark, or I did a big curse, or the dog was barking, or there was somebody ringing at the door. Sometimes I continue, sometimes I stop. You see, it's going to look very nice. It's going to look really very nice. 7, 2, 1. Get all the yarn. Ooh, it was just what I needed. My husband shouting that dinner is ready soon in 50 minutes. He's a sweetie, he's cooking, and he cooks always on a Sunday. Sunday is curry night. So, where was I? Oh yeah, let's do 7 singles. It's almost finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will help if I use my glasses and put it not in my hair but on my nose so I see more. 5, 6, and 7, and double crochet. Take those 2 loops there, hoopatay, and then 3, 1, 2, 3, and the last one again is a double crochet under those 2 loops. See, you used already here, and you bring your work really forward. See, I make it on purpose not too tight, that so it gets the stretch. And that was round 2. We only have to pull our yarn a little bit wider, put your hook under that first chain you made, changing the colors, pull it backwards, and look at this, ladies and gentlemen, and everything else. We have a nice start of our pattern. After this, there's no more surprise. This is it. This is how we're going to continue. But you see, we have nice double crochet standing above each other, and the pattern is already forming and is already there. I hope I didn't cut it off, but this is a retake, and my double crochets are aligning up nicer here than in my next part of the video, because this is a retake. My startup wasn't good and I didn't have enough single crochets on my chain, on my setup chain, to make the tutorial a correct one. Now it is. See how it happens, see how it grows, and this is your pattern. And coming back, and we're going to do round 3, and as you see, I'm using Knit Companion. We just did round 2, so I'm going to shift this to round 3. We can check the chart. I'm going to start round 3. You see here the corner, a double crochet, single crochet, a double crochet, and a corner again. And for the length, we have the same. Here's the pattern we're going to do. Round 3, as you see. It's a corner we did already in the length, it shows in the written pattern, and then 1 double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, all the way back. So it's an easy enough written pattern. Here it says a corner, 1 double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, a corner, and then 1 double crochet, single crochet 21 times. We end with a double crochet and we repeat the pattern. I will add that to the pattern, repeat twice. So you start again to the corner when you've done all this, and redo and repeat the pattern. So we're going to change the color, put some markers in where I start my double crochet. My double crochet, yes, that's here, or my corner here and a corner there. It's a little bit not nice yet because it is a rectangle, and but you see, here comes your double crochet, here comes your single crochet, and here double, and a corner. Oh, I added a little slip of yarn here. So we're going to change the yarn first. Pull this a little bit tighter, the yellow is a little bit tighter there. I will delete that one. It is this stitch, not this one, it's this stitch. See, I'm going to change the yarn. I put the yarn over already, so we've guided the yarn already in the previous one. 1, 2, to give the stitch, pull it a little bit, not too tight, not too tight, pull the yarn. This is our last stitch on the end. See this one? So we start here the corner, we do a double crochet, and if you want to mark the stitch you need to use last, you can do it, or if you need to mark your corners, you can do it. Your single crochet, mark it if you want. I will mark it for you so you know. The single crochet, a chain, it's a chain, now a single crochet. Then we follow the pattern after our corner, and which is a double crochet. And you see here, this goes 2 loops down, and it needs to be straight under. And let me find it a little bit. This is the middle one here. See, that's the middle one. So we have to have this one here, a double crochet, and a single crochet, and a double crochet. Let me find the loop. That one is this one here. See, straight under it here. Probably will reuse it again later. We get this one stitch out. Here we're going to do the corner. Yarn over, going to do the corner. 1. Mark it again if you want to mark the stitches. Oh, need to mark it backwards here. See, that's why sometimes I'm too impatient and I don't mark my corners, and I leave them always open and they drop and whatever. But the corner and a single crochet again, and then the pattern says a double crochet, single crochet 21 times, and end with a double. Okay, we're going to make a double. We're going to go the same loop as we used before. Oops, see here, because that one fits behind the other one. I'm going to use the same loop as we did on the side, on the width here. See, so we get a nice square corner. Single crochet 21 times. Okay, 21 times we can do this. Double crochet, single crochet 21 times, and I did already a mistake. Of course, in the most simple patterns I make a mistake because I didn't take all my yarn, and there's a little weird loopy in the front, and here again too. Yarn is awful now because I abused it so much. I use it I will rip this out later too and use it again for the tutorial because it's a nice contrasting color. and it is, it sounds weird, but it's easy on the eyes. Maybe it's not so much for you, but it's easy on the eyes for a tutorial. The contrast is big enough to, oh, I lost already the corner, but I know where the corner is, don't worry. If I marked my last stitch, I know where the corners are, so I will take those out. You can mark them, of course. It's best if you are new to doing this in the round to mark your corners a little bit, especially in the beginning, so you can find your way back easier to the pattern. Okay, 21 we're going to do. Not even bothering counting. Am I bothering counting? I don't know. Bothering count. Well, you need to know where you put your stitches, that's all. See, it's normal interlocking crochet. There's nothing special about it now anymore. If you followed my previous or other tutorials of the Inca flower, that is a free tutorial on Ravelry, you can see the normal interlocking, the normal overlay mosaic in the round, and it's now just following the pattern. Just following the pattern. There's nothing difficult at it now anymore until the end of the blanket. And you have to sew in the ends, which are not massively because you don't have ends. And you can always put an extra border of a few lines on it if you want, or repeat the pattern or whatever, or make your own pattern. But it's basically, this is it. This is it. It's the startup that is difficult. It's the startup that's difficult, really. It's great if you can mark your work where you are. It's the best thing to do. But now it's basic interlocking. Really basic interlocking. The only difference now is we get a corner here and there. And it's in the middle of the written pattern. And the written pattern you have to repeat twice. So you don't need to make a border to sew in the fringe on the side, or to hide the fringe, or to make a fringy nice, or nothing. No, this is it. This is it. And that's why I like overlay mosaic in the round so much better than row to row. Interlocking, I don't know. Maybe only when I would use a gradient color again. I will make it to start for interlocking too. Like these videos, I'm a little bit struggling with writing out the pattern. But for interlocking, I like it from row to row. For overlay mosaic, I love it in the round because it's stupid simple. It's a little bit more difficult if you have a very a realistic pattern like my T-Rex or something. You could do it because it's based on a 9-9 square. If some people know what that means, if you are a very experienced interlocking, you know what, or overlay mosaic crocheter, you know what I mean with it. This is a 9-9 square, and if it's a 9-9 square, it always fits in the round, so you can always draw the corners yourself and do any pattern in the round, which I will try to do as from now. But then you get 4 sides to follow, and the end rows are really taking a long time. So this is my 21 repeats. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 21. Yeah, and we end with a double crochet in here. We need to find that corner. This we're going to use there. So we're going to use this one. Yes. Go away. Oh, and here I marked my corner. See, this is my corner. This is going behind that one. That one is, and I marked my corner wrong already because I know, because I skip otherwise 1-2 stitches. See, and I need to skip only 1 here. This is for my double crochet. My corner comes here. So I'm bad at marking. So please don't mark your stitches like I do. Just do it. Oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable I am. And we're going to do a double crochet, a single crochet, and a double crochet again. The double crochet goes in here, covering that single crochet. And I hope I did mark my stitches. Yeah, I did mark it right. Single crochet here and a double crochet there. And let me take this one out because it's already there. See, my double crochet goes in front of this one. We get that loop here. If you do this often, you know exactly where your corners are. You really know. And the marking, I drop it because I mark it always wrong. I don't know why I do it, but I can't mark. I can't mark. Anybody who can teach me how to mark, please. We do a chain one and a double crochet again for the corner. And we're going to abuse that little loopy there again to do another double crochet. See? And we start our pattern repeating double crochet, single crochet. Did one already, a single, a double, and a single, and a double. I will try to edit this, so this will go twice as fast, I hope. But sometimes I chat with you and tell you how to read your patterns, or a little trick like how not to mark your work with stitch markers. Goodness me, can't believe myself, that I mark all my corners wrong. I marked it wrong again. I had to rip my work because I couldn't find out what I was doing wrong, and I just marked it wrong. Don't know how I do it. Just follow the pattern. Make sure you do every stitch. That's all. No, I hope I marked that. Oh, my marker is already fallen out. Good, because I marked wrong anyway. Now I'm a sloppy crocheter, but somehow it always works out, you just follow the pattern, go with the flow, and don't try to force a double crochet over a double crochet, I would never, and that's interlocking, you never have a double crochet here. You can't do double crochet because there's no front loop. So, see, so it's automatically, there's no double crochet over another color double crochet and things like that. And it's very handy because I started with interlocking, and you're getting mixed up because you work back to front, front to back, and then the back is the back and the front is the front, and then suddenly your back is your front again, and it's different. So I wonder how my tutorial or how my pattern will work for interlocking in the round. I will do it directly for a rectangle and see how that works out, and also a square one day. But when I make patterns that are a little bit like a kaleidoscope, or you repeat it and you see the pattern coming back on the sides and on the other side, I will put it in 4 techniques, and that is just the row to row interlocking, the row to row overlay mosaic, and trying to add the rectangles in the round now too for overlay mosaic and interlocking crochet. It's a mouthful. Officially it's interlocking filet crochet, but it is. I like to do blankets like that because you have that bonus back, and also in the round you have that bonus back. But for my tablecloth I did it in mosaic because it fills up so nicely and it looks more delicate. Sometimes interlocking doesn't look that delicate as overlay mosaic, and then you choose one or the other. It's just a personal preference. If you're not sure what technique you prefer, there are tutorials in my Facebook group under the files. And here is our last double crochet. We repeat it 21 times. My last double crochet, and we're going to put this through. Is that not ending with a single? No, double crochet. Oh, that is the best thing to end with. And we pull the yarn through here. Pull it through. There you got it. 15 minutes of normal overlay mosaic crochet, and you see the pattern is coming on nicely. Yeah, this is a little bit open, and there the stitch is disappearing. You can always stitch it up a little bit if you think it's not that nice, but this is the beginning. This is how you should do it. I will do another 4 or 5 rounds, I think, and then you can give it a go yourself. Hope to see you for the next one. And welcome back. We're going to do round 4. I slipped my tablet already from there to there. See, it's so easy, that knit companion. We're going to do round 4. We're going to look a little bit at round 4. Let me show you the width. This is the width graph. And we're going to do round 4. See, basically it's a corner, 2 single crochet, a double crochet, 2 single crochet, and a corner. And for the length, it's here, well, as you see, a corner, a lot of single crochets, and a double crochet, a lot of single crochets, double crochet, single crochets, double crochet, single crochet. So it's not that difficult. See, it doesn't read that different from other charts, except this beginning is a little bit different, and you have to switch from one graph to another. See, this is the width, that is the short side, and it is the length, that is the long side of your pattern. I use the written pattern so I don't have to count. So you see here, a corner, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles. I'm hungry, that was my stomach. And another corner, then 10, 1, 11, 1, 11, 1, 10. And you repeat this twice. Okay, let's get started here. Change the color of your yarn. The back yarn over here. Get the yellow. 1, 2. Find your corner stitch. Remember, I showed you how not to mark, but this is my corner. I know this now. I really know. I don't know why, but this is my corner. And it feels natural to me, so this is my corner. I know why, because this is the next. This is your chain that goes into that single crochet. So this is my first single crochet, and this is my chain. So now I know why, so don't worry. And we're going to do a normal corner. See, normal corner. Did I guide the yarn through? Let me see. Yeah, I did guide it through. Sometimes I forget. But then you get those big yarn loops here. See, and now you really hide it a little bit. Okay, and we're going to follow the pattern. 2 single crochets. 1, and you see immediately I'm correct. 1, that single crochet, the last one, is over the red double crochet here, and we do a double crochet here. I need to pick up all my yarn. See, it's split up so much because it's not the yarn, it's me unripping and ripping it over and over again. 2 single crochets and your corner. You can't do anything else. If your first stitch is okay, the rest will follow. Check your work always. A corner is a single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet. See, it makes perfect corners. You don't need to put 3 in, or 4 or 5 or 6. Just 1 is enough. And we follow the pattern that is 10 single crochets now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what do we do now? We do a double crochet. And then try 11 singles. 1, 2, 10 and 11 and a double crochet and 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 11 and a double crochet and 10 singles. Check your work. Yes, it's nice in the middle. See, that is the pattern in the middle of those two. And we do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the corner, that is 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet, and we follow the pattern. We're going to do the full repeat again. That is the corner, and then 2 singles, 1 single, 2 singles, double crochet, front loop down, 2 singles, and the corner. So single crochet, chain 1 and a single crochet, and then we do 21 double crochets, single crochets again. No, that was the previous row. I'm sometimes a silly woman. We do 10 single crochets. I thought so. Hey, we do another pattern suddenly. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10. Double crochet, 21, 21, 11, 11. Why do I say 21? Where's 21 coming from? Don't know. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, and we do a double crochet, go down, double crochet, and then again 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's my stomach, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we do a double crochet again, hoppa, and then we do the last 10 of our round. I always mix round and row and interlocking and overlaying, so please forgive me when I make a mistake like that. 2. Oh, I'm start counting in Dutch again. Still, Dutch doesn't get out of my head. I'm not living that long. I have dry hands. Goodness me, they look old. Don't look at my hands, ladies. Look at my beautiful nails. 3. Oh gosh, I'm laughing at my own jokes again. 4. Shouldn't do that. 5, 6, 7, 8. And I will show you now something. 9. I'll show you where number 10 is. Look. It is this one. It is this stitch. See here, that diagonal here one. This is just the color change here. And so you need to get this stitch, this one. That is your last stitch if you do a single crochet. See? And then it ends up nicely. Close, make a big loop, pull your yarn through again to the back. To the back here, because this is your first stitch or your last stitch you use. See, but you pull it to the back. This is the last stitch, and this will be your corner here. See, this will be the last stitch you use. And now we can do our color change for the next round. Look at this. Isn't it pretty? Even don't mind the colors. Very bright, the red, but so are my nails. Like it. You can check it with the chart. You can check it with the graph. It's correct. And maybe I see you for the next round, which is round number 5 already. Hope to see you. Welcome back to round number 5. I'm going to show you. I would love to work on my tablet. If you can't read it well, you zoom in very big. And that's my stomach. Thank you, stomach. I'm going to do round 5. See if you can't see it well. You can really mark the letters. It's a free program. I bought it because I think sometimes when it's this good and this satisfying and I use it daily, I don't mind to pay £8 a year for a program that is simply this good. Sadly, it doesn't have the scribble like it has for the iPad. I have a Samsung tablet, but you can mark everything. You can inverse, but I like the jumping function. Look, I'm going to do round 4 here. 5. We're going to do 5 here. We're going to that one. See? And it's an old round, so it's in the dark color again. The old rounds are in the dark color. And this is the width, the short side. See, this is the short side. And we're going to do 5. And what are we going to do? We make a corner, 2 single crochet, double, single, double, single, single, and a corner. And then we go to the length, the long side. We made our corner already on that short side here. And then you see a double, single. No, yeah. It's number 5 we do. Number 5 we do here. Reading the one above. We do the corner. Then we do a double crochet. Some singles. Double, single, double. Some singles, double, single, double. Now I'm going to the written pattern. See what it says for me. We're going to do the 5. We're going to do 5. You see already corner, 2 singles, a double crochet, a single crochet, a double crochet, 2 singles, a corner again, a double, 9 singles, a double, a single, a double, 9 singles, double, single, double, 9 singles. I'm sorry, I have difficulties to program this to repeat, and once I do it by hand, I make mistake. Ask Caroline. I will do it by hand and make a zillion of mistakes. And we end the pattern, and we repeat this pattern twice. So we repeat it twice. Here we start round number 5, the first repeat. Okay, we're here, we change our color, back, yarn over here, 1, 2, 1, 2, pull it a little bit tight, not too tight. This is your diagonal. This is my first corner. See, this is this stitch we're going to use the last. This is my corner. You see the difference? This one goes behind here under this. See? And this one is a little bit diagonal. So the next one is your corner. That's because I just did 200 of rounds for my tablecloth. We do a normal corner. Then 2 single crochets, 1, 2. And then it says double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. double crochet, and then 2 singles, and look where I am now, nicely in my corner again. Oh, I love that. And we make a corner, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then the pattern starts. We do a double crochet. Is it a double crochet here? Let me look. Am I right? In the corner, 1 double crochet. Yeah. 1 double crochet under this one is here. Here. That is my double crochet. You see? Here. We'll show it to you again. Because it's in the corner of the previous one. See, this was my chain, and this is my single crochet in that corner. You see here, you have 1, 2, 3 loops of the round in the corner, and you take this middle stitch here, and you make your first double crochet. You can check it a little bit with the pattern too. It's a straight line down. Okay, and how many do I do now? 9 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and we do a double crochet right under this stitch. See? Here, this one, and we do, even kijken, a single even kijken, let me see in English, a single crochet and a double crochet again, and we do 9 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and we do a double crochet under this loop. Go down, find your loop, make a double crochet and a single crochet and a double crochet. And that's why I love overlay mosaic in the round so much. It's almost, it guides itself, you know. You can't make the pattern any different. You can't put your double crochet here or here. You really need to follow the pattern and see how it grows under your hands. And it's nice. I like it. It brings me in that Zen mode. I love it. Well, not when I do this, but normally when I crochet, I'm very happy. I always wiggle my feet. And you're in 2, 3, 4, 5. I like to make new techniques and new patterns. It keeps my mind busy. I'm a little bit older than the average designer, I think. Maybe not everybody. Some people are a little. I'm getting 60 this year. 60. 60. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3. Not ready for 60. 1, 2, 3. 6, 7. 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it needs to be 9. Come on. So 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And double crochet. Single crochet. And a double crochet. And then 9 singles. And a double crochet. Find, this is the corner again. This here comes my corner, see? So find the, no, wacht even, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why do I have 9? It should be here. I missed a stitch somewhere. Let me look. I think I missed one in the previous row. No, it needs to be here. See, above this one. I'm just not looking very well. Sometimes I'm not very clever. Negen, I got it now. And the double crochet comes in front of this stitch here. See, sometimes I doubt myself. And we're going to start the next repeat. That is, see, the one that is, this one is skipped for the stitch, and here comes my corner. We're going to repeat again the whole pattern, the corner, single crochet, chain one, and a single crochet. And we're going to repeat the pattern with 2 single crochets here, 1, 2, and I was correct. I thought I had a stitch dropped, but it's correct, look. And a double crochet here, single crochet, and a double crochet. Sometimes I doubt myself and I think, what is this? But you can always check your work, count again, recount, and make sure you have the right amount of stitches. That's how you check your work. And 2 single crochets, and there comes my corner again. Look, here's a corner. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and then we do a double crochet. Yeah, and it's under this one, and this is the loop here. See, 1, 2. Here, this is the loop you need to make the double crochet, and then 9 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then a double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. See, your mirror almost is. And then 9 singles. Double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. Oh, you see, only the beginning was difficult. This is straightforward. 9 singles. That is, and the rest now is just following the pattern. I might do one more, maybe 2, because I like to do it now. This is the fun part. The fun part starts here. See, the fun part starts here. And then after my 9 singles, I do a double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, double crochet, 9 singles, eight, and 9. I do a double crochet. So when we would have a single crochet, we would have taken this stitch. Look, this one. Now we do a double one. Going to find our corner stitch. It's 2, 3. It's this one. This one. There. See? That's the one. Pull your loop. And yarn backwards. And you see again, this will be the ending. And this will be the corner here. This will be the corner. See? After my diagonal. Okay, and look. Starts to grow. Starts to grow. Don't worry, in the end we have the long rows. But it isn't that massive of a project. It's only 7 pages. And the first There's only 3 written pages of text, and the first 4 are patterns and the charge. Hope to see you for, which round are we? Round 6. Thank you. Back to round 6. Let us investigate what we're going to need to do. This is again Knit Companion. You can see the pattern here. I love Knit Companion. I don't have shares. I wish I had. You see the row we need to do. Let's check it. It says a corner, 4 single crochets, but 1 double crochet, 4 singles, and a corner. Let me see that, because this is before this corner. This is the small side or the width, and the rest is the length. So let's go to the width. We're going to do 6, and yes, it seems correct. And then we're going to see 4, and we're going to do around 6. That seems correct too. It's not that difficult. So let's follow the pattern. Let's see how it turns out. Okay, change your yarn. Red one over here. Guide it through. And if you do this, you get this at the back and not long loops of yarn. 1, 2 for the color change. 1, 2. Pull the red one a little bit. Pull the red one, and you see a little bit which one goes diagonal is for the next one. Now we need to find our corner stitch. The corner stitch is, let me see, this one is there. This is your corner stitch. This, look, here's your single crochet of the previous one. You always do the corner in the single crochet. If you can't find the single crochet, mark it, but you showed me before, if you've seen all the previous videos, that I'm not good in marking. I already guided the red yarn through the yellow, and now I'm going to work with the yellow and the red I put there. Okay, I made my first single crochet guiding that red yarn. Now I do, and I chain, and then a single crochet. I really want my yarn too. And then it says 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then a double crochet. And you see I was right about the corner that is there and not this one. You always have to figure it out a little bit if you're not sure, because after that the rest will be easy peasy Japanesey. Oh, sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and another corner, because I like to work with a written pattern so you don't have to count. You know, a chart is nice, then you see immediately if you do something wrong or not. And that was a corner. And what does it say then? It says a double crochet first. And look, there's that little loopy of my corner, yellow corner, in a row down below. See? I need to have this one, this stitch. This stitch here. This one. Next one, I use that one there. And we make a double crochet, and then it says 11 singles. We can do that. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is it lunchtime? Almost. 11. Yay! We did 11 and a double crochet. And look, it is right where it should be, because the double crochet can't be anywhere else but here. You're forced to do it here. You can't do it here or here. So you counted correctly. I counted correctly. And 11 again. And then the double crochet must be here after the 11. So see, sometimes you get lazy, you don't count, but keep counting, because that is the trick. Keep counting too. Really. 3, 4, I count in my sleep. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. See? And again the double crochet comes in the right spot over the double crochet of the other yellow one. Here, front loop, and we do again 11 more singles, back loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and a double crochet here, a double crochet, and 11. Is it 11? Yeah, 11 and a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, my stomach. 9. That always happens during a tape, 11. And I do a double crochet. Let me find a little loop in the front. Here, it's under here. See that loop? That's the front loop. Here. There. And we find our corner. Here we skip one. Hope you can see it. Skip one for this one. So our corner is here. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and we repeat our pattern, of course, after this double crochet. We do the corner again in the 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you were wrong here, you would have ended wrong, and then you just find your corner again, shift it a little bit, because the double crochet needs to go in the double crochet of the one below. There, and the 4 singles again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get a baby scarf already for a teddy bear or something. See? Oh, I like it. And then the corner again. Follow the pattern. 1 single chain and a single crochet, and then a double crochet. Find the loop. Here it is. Here it is. Oh. And then 11. 1, 2. And you have to forgive me for the written pattern, because I didn't find the repeats, how to program it yet nicely. And when do I do it by hand? When I say 4 times, 1 double crochet and 11 single crochets, or 3 times, I will make a mistake and I will say 11 double crochets and 1 single. It happened like that in the kaleidoscope flowers, and it will happen with this too, because I'm horrible when I write the pattern by hand. So I always let Excel do the thinking and I do the designing. That's better. That works for me. And 11 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and a double crochet, front loop only. 1, 2, 10, and 11. Need to pick up the yarn. Always go in between. I'm an in-betweener. An in-betweenie. There. And then 11 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, This corner is always a little bit tricky because you have to find your stitch, and it's this one here. Look, see? It's that one here. You make your double crochet, pull your pull all the yarn through, not just one string, all. And we're going to change the color at the back again for the next one. I hope you're not bored yet. I love it. I love doing this. Well, I don't like the taping, I don't like the recording, because I must think what I say, and I don't think and do well together. But you see, it's going already to be a weaving kind of pattern. It goes under here, over, under, over, under, over, under. I like it. It's simple, it's nice, it's clean. It's not that difficult. The setup, it's a little bit, you have to take care at your setup. You see, I wasn't happy with those corners here. It still could be nicer. It could be nicer. See? But it's a straight line. But the rest of your corners will be fantastic. And only somebody like me with a magnifying glass will look, oh, you could have done this better. See? Yeah, I could have done that. But it will be a blanket. And it will be only one of a lot of stitches. I hope to see you for round 7 if you want to join me. If not, have it go yourself, because it's not that massively difficult. And let's do round 7. Welcome back. Overlay, mosaic, crochet in the round, making a rectangle. So not a square, a rectangle. So you have a rectangle like blanket with the long, with the length, and with the width. This is the length, this is the width. It's also in the pattern. This part in the pattern is called the width, and this part in the pattern, in the chart, is the length. Showed you already my love for the Knit Companion app. You have it for the iPad and for the Android. Can even use it on your phone if you can zoom in big enough. And we're going to do round 7. Round 7 is an odd number, so will be in the darker color. The width, you can check the pattern here. Going to do round 7 here. 7, you see it's a lot of double crochets, single crochets together, so there will be a lot of repeats. Line number 4, similar, a lot of double and single crochets combined and repeated. So I will go back to my written pattern. There, corner, repeats, a corner, and repeats. Okay, we can do that, and we repeat that written pattern twice, of course, otherwise you have half a blankie. We change our color. Yellow yarn goes over. 1, 2, always do 2. I pull the yellow, I agree, and I'm going to find my corner. It's not this one, it's this one, and I will show you why. You see a little hole here. I will show you. See, there comes my red here. So this is your corner here, that one. This goes a little bit diagonal. See, it goes in because under this you pulled the yarn through, so it goes a little bit diagonal. After that diagonal you get the first one, and that's your corner. Get the yellow yarn over to guide it for your next color change. See, the back looks really okay-ish. Look, it really looks okay. It really looks okay. Oh, I do like it. The back is nice too. See, you get that nice stripy pattern, which we are so used from Overlay Mosaic. Okay, drop the yellow yarn, put it where you want to put it, out of the way, or what other color you use. And we do our corner. We did our first single crochet, chain 1, and the second single crochet, for the corner. And then we do a lot of repeats. We first do a double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, then 5 times. Okay, let's find that corner stitch. It's here. I see it immediately, maybe because I do overlay in the round and I like it so much. But it's this one. See this stitch near my nail and in between. Let me show it to you. That stitch you need to have. So you need to go in with your hook, pull it a little bit, and make your first double crochet. And you see it follows almost this line. See, pattern follows the line through, and that is what I wanted with this pattern. It's straight lines. It's a straight pattern. It's not difficult at all. And we do 5 repeats, a single, double, double. So we did 1 repeat. We got that one, we skipped that one. Now we do the second 1, 2, and repeat. We do in the third repeat, and look how nicely it fits, because you couldn't do a double crochet there. Going to do the 4th repeat, and here comes the 5th one, and we end this the width part of the pattern with 1 double crochet, which shows in the pattern. Well, let me find the stitch. It's not this one, it's under here. See, this is your corner, it's under here. It's this stitch, this stitch. So it's not this one, that is, see, you need to skip 1 for this. It is this one here. So you need to find it, you need to look, you need to check your work in the corners, otherwise your corners will be woggy. And one thing we don't like woggy corners. Wibbly, wobbly, whatever you call it in English. Just invented the word wobbly corners. Get all the yarn, if you can do it. Make double crochet. And then the corner. And I showed you already the corner. We skip 1. This is the corner. And I noticed it because it is a little gappy here. See, it's a little gap here. But if you can't find your corners, mark them, but do it wisely and not like me, like a stupid headless woman, and make your corner like it's silly. And wow, 25 repeats, a double crochet, single crochet 25 times. That will be fun. 25 times. So okay, now I will show you what you need to do. This needs to be a straight line. We just use this stitch to make this double crochet here. We use the same one now for this one. So you get this nice crispy corner here. See? That's what we want. And then a single crochet. And we're going to repeat this 25 times. Yeah. That's a lot of repeats. Well, if you don't know where you are, it's till the end. and this double crochet goes always in another double crochet. So if you mix it up or you go weird, then you know you do it wrong. I don't want to put too much tension on my work. I normally am a very tight crocheter. This is a little bit more loose for me because otherwise the stitches get too tight for the tutorial. But I like my tight stitch. Oh goodness me. Please forgive my bad kind of jokes. I have not a great sense of humor. Well, I think I have, but I'm only sometimes the only one who laughs at her own jokes, at her joke, you know. And I can say silly things. Silly things indeed. Here we go. See? So we do it right because that double crochet is over the other double crochet of the red. I'm always a wild crocheter, so everything moves always when I crochet. But I think you got a picture already, and you can skip the rest one of this, or you want to see how I do the corner again. Fast forward it and do only the corners. I need to learn some video editing, but on the other hand, I chat a lot while doing this, and sometimes I make sense of what I say and give you a handy tip how to correct a mistake, or when I make my own mistake, how I find out that it is a mistake, and how to correct it, or how to stop, and how to check your own work, because that is important. Crocheting like this with 2 colors, mosaic or interlocking, checking your work, marking where you are, keep a track where you are, you know, and check, recount, check, recount, check, count again. And if it still doesn't fit, go back 1 row below, count there. And if it still doesn't fit, it's lower. Really, sometimes it's 5 rows back. And this is an easy pattern, so you will immediately see when it doesn't fit, because some lines line up straight, and if it goes wobbly, you know you did something wrong, and you say, oh, I got some. That's why this is an intermediate pattern instead of a very difficult one, because it's not difficult. It's not working with 5 or 15 colors. 15 colors, by the way, isn't difficult. It's just organizing if you have a lot of colors. This is just counting, checking, recount, checking. See, I need to have 21 repeats, that I need to have 25 repeats, that and 1 double crochet at the end. So I need to have in a total a 26 double crochets if I'm done. And I'm going to count that, because I didn't keep track because I was chatting to you. But well, it's just 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet all the way. For an interlocker, that is pretty basic. And I was a fan more of for overlaying mosaic. It's pretty basic. Gosh, I'm mixing interlock and overlay again. I started with overlay, and I still like it for blankets, which I done row to row. Then that's nicer. And there it comes. And the repeats are done, so I need to have 25 double crochets, but I will do the last one, and then I check if I really did 25 and not 26 or 27 or 23. And oh, that was my single crochet. Here's my double crochet. I'm going to find that corner. Here it is. Look, that stitch here, this one, go under, see, and then you use your hook a little bit different. You push it under. So, and now I should have 26 double crochets. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 26. Yes. And you find your corner again. You skip 1 for the double crochet here, and it's peeking out already. This will be your corner. I'm going to repeat the pattern. So we start again with the corner, and then 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet 5 times. That is simple. And we use the same loop for the double crochet start as we did here at the end. And then a single crochet and a double crochet nicely in the middle, and a single crochet and a double crochet, and it ends. You see, it lines nicely up. You skipped 1 here, skipped 1 there, and you put your double crochet in there. So we know we are right on track where you want to be, and you're not somewhere in the middle of your pattern after you did a round and you think, what the hell did I do? No, it's simple. Keep track where you are. Relax a little bit, because it's an easy pattern. We did the 5 repeats, a single crochet. That is, and the repeats with a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we end the pattern with a double crochet on the corner, and it's this corner again here. There, it's a little bit digging with the hook because it's thick hook, stick yarn. And again, we skip 1 for this. See, we skip this single crochet, so this should be our corner. I don't know if you see it. We skip this one. This one we use, that's the dog. We skip this one, and then we use this corner. There, there's somebody at the door. There is too bad. It has to wait. And dog sounds vicious, but it's a wuss. It's just a big dog. And we did, we did our corner. Oh, we did our corner. And we go down. And we use the same corner again. That's the same stitch as we used in the previous one. There. And we're going to start our repeat. We do 25 double crochet, single crochet, and a double crochet here. And 25 doubles, singles. Oh, 25 repeats, sorry. 25 repeats, so it's the end of the row, and we count at the end of the row because I always look track. But I always check. I mean, I hate frogging. I really hate frogging. And I frog a lot, don't worry. But I don't like it. I mean, sometimes, especially when you do it in the round, if you find a mistake here, you know, with row to row overlay mosaic, if you find a mistake here, you have to delete this one, but also delete the whole yellow line. It's not just 2 lines till here. No, you have to go back all the way because these are connected. That's why you check. Check again if you're not sure, because it's better you check a few times more than 1, 2 less, because it is a lot of ripping you need to do, and especially when you are almost finishing. I did it, finishing your work, and sometimes I just leave the mistake and I fix it some way because it's too much to rip. I mean, if you need to rip 1,000 stitches and 500 of the previous row, you're not very happy. You know, you worked one evening for Pete's knot. Pete's knot is for nothing. Is that better translation from Dutch to English for Pete's knot? I don't know. 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 I'm going in the zone. I'm having cold feet and should put thick socks on. I like thick socks sometimes. I'm going to have lunch and then walk the dog. Woo, 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 here in the Arboretum in Nottingham and in the Forest Park and the Water Reservoir Park. Always 2 to 3 parks with my dog. If it's sometimes I go to other parks like what is that park? The Thieves Wood. I like that too. And I like what is it called? See, I forget so much. Names? Really? Oh, I'm horrible with names. Really. I forget all the names. No more space on my hard disk. Oh, hard disk is full. After 59 years, almost 69, my hard disk is full. And that's why I like working in Excel. Keeps my brain a little bit active because I'm not that sharp anymore as I used to be. I could do the whip with my tongue, you know, put somebody in place into 2 words, and now it happens to me that I wake up in the night and said, oh, I should have come back like that. That would have been witty. The past I did it. Now I have to think twice, 3 times or 4 times, and it comes hours later. Ugh. I'm mellow now and not that sharp anymore. That's also a good thing, because sometimes sharp can be bitchy. I can be bitchy. Even in my responses online, think, oh, I could have formulated that better, you, not just a blunt no or a blunt yes. Please forgive me for that, because I'm sometimes a little bit direct. The Dutch directness is still in me. Gone a little bit mellow, but not enough. There. Okay, and I should have 25 double crochets, but I continue and I will show you here. We take the same stitch here. There. That's the one we started. Double crochet. And you see it lines up nicely. It lines up nicely. Pull your yarn through. Pull it to the back. There. Pull it to the back. Pull through. And there. We've done round 7. Yay, we've done round 7. I will do one more round for you here together. And then you have to figure it out yourself, or you ask me questions, or you give me remarks, or you say that's not clear. Could you change it better like that? Could you use a color font or a bigger font or whatever? You can always ask. I can always say no or I say yes. It depends on how much work it is. Sometimes people don't see the work behind a written pattern. They think I write it by hand. No, I program everything because I can't write by hand because I can't. I make too many mistakes. Okay, hope to see you for round 8. Otherwise, you just go ahead and see where you strand. When you end, where you strand. That's a Dunglish expression. See where you strand means zie waar je strandt. And it means see where you have to stop and you don't know it anymore. It's a little bit Dunglish, I know, I do that. Hope to see you next. I'm not going to explain the charts to you anymore. I've done it already a few times. So we're just going to change the yarn and follow the pattern. You can check yourself. I go red yarn over, yellow goes there, go over, see I'm over, I'm going to change the yarn, color 2 stitches, 1, 2, and I pull the red one a little bit tighter, not massively tight, just a little bit tighter, there, and I got my yarn ready. You see this diagonal here, look, this is the diagonal, so this is my corner. See, you see the diagonal here. I'll put it a little bit straight, it goes under here. So this we don't use, we going to make a corner here. I hope you see that. And we follow the pattern. Round 8, it's a corner. So it's a single crochet, a chain and a single crochet. Now we're going to, and I didn't guide my yarn under it. I know now, I know. I do that because it's just nicer. It shows nicer. So here, see, I will need to put a red one in too. So, and my single crochet, pull it a little bit, and see, the back doesn't look that horrible. Otherwise you have those big yarn thingies coming everywhere. Like it. Thank you, Carolina, for giving me that tip and giving me that tutorial, because I've learned it from somebody else too. Should credit it, but I don't know who it was. I just saw it. 2 single crochets, a double crochet, there it is, a double crochet, 7 singles, and now the width is becoming a real pattern too, and just instead of just 2 stitches, a double crochet and 2 singles, and then my corner, 2 singles, 1 and 2, and here it comes, and it peeps out. You see, it peeps out already, that stitch. It's really the corner stitch. Remember the corner stitch. Remember. And then we're going to follow our pattern. Let me see, we did that corner. Let me slide a little bit, make it a little bit smaller. I don't see everything. Yes, and there it is. A corner, 6 single crochets. We do 6 single crochets. So we do 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we do 1 double crochet, single crochet twice, and repeat, 1 double crochet, a single crochet, and a double crochet, and a single crochet, and a double crochet. As the end, because the repeat we've done, and now we follow a pattern, double crochet, and then 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a double crochet, single crochets. So we do 3 doubles and 2 singles, a double, a single, a double, a single, and a double, and 7 singles. 7 singles on a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then 3 doubles with in between 2 singles. It's double, single, double, a single, and another double, and then again 7 singles. There. I'm going to, where are we now in our pattern? Yes, the last repeat. 3 doubles and 2 singles in between. And a double. And then 6 singles. Can get that loop. 6 singles. 1, 2, and 6, 5, 5, first, 5th, now 6, that is 6, and 6, 6, and we're going to repeat the pattern. So that's a corner, second repeat, then we make a round corner, 2 singles, a double crochet, 7 singles, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 7, and a double crochet, 2 singles, 1, 2, 1, and 2, and the corner again, a little bit tight, 1 corner, and what do we do then after the corner? 6 singles, 6 singles, 6 singles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 3 doubles again with 2 singles in between, 1 double and a single and a double, and a single and a double, 7 singles after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 doubles again with singles in between. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 double, 1 single, one double, one single, and one double. There you are. 7 singles. 7 singles on the road. Ta-la-la-lee, ta-la-la-la. Gosh, ik ga er naar me. 2. Kom ik dat nou ineens in mijn hoofd? How do I get songs like that in my head? I sometimes don't know how my memory works, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work at all. 5. If I can make the 5. 6. 7, een double, single, double, single, double. Double, a single, a double, a single, and a double. 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yay! And then we do the doubles again. A single, double, single, double, double, a single, and a double, and a single, and a double. It goes so simple now. See it really going to start fast growing. 6. And can you imagine when you're in full speed, you go zoop, zoop, zoop. It's finished in 2 days. Ha ha ha. Geitje. Grappig. Joke. Even kijken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look, this is not the one because there's no behind it. Because that guided through. You take this one. This one here, this diagonal. Look. It's a little bit diagonal there. There. Take this loop. Take this loop. Yeah. And a single. Pull your yarn through. Pull it to the backwards. You can do it your own way. I like this way. This is how I find my corners. This is how I work. This is how I crochet. And look at this. It starts to become pretty already, doesn't it? I do like it. And see, it's not that ugly on the corner at all. It's nice. This is the back, see? You don't see the yarn going crazy there. And if you look, you can't, well, you always will see this part in the back. But you can't make it invisible. Maybe you can make it invisible. I don't mind it like this. I like it. This was the video support. I hope it was enough. It's an easy pattern, to be honest now. It's really almost like now it's a beginner's pattern. You follow the written pattern or the chart, repeat it twice, count, recount, mark where you are. If you've done round 8, cross it out. If you do it on paper, check it, cross it out, stripe it out, mark it, stick it out, do whatever you want, but mark where you are and count, and recount. I didn't recount because it is really a straightforward pattern. See, the 3 are in opposite here, and it's like a weaving basket pattern. So, and I designed it so I know a little bit how it goes. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you giggled about my stupid, silly mistakes I sometimes make. I hope it was educative enough. And I hope my setup was clear. If it is not clear, the setup, let me know. Can always do a new video. Go slower. There's also a button on YouTube you can use that goes half the speed. So you go very slow. It's just the setup. I think it's the best thing to do with those. You can also do, a chainless setup. You know, but I like the setup with the rounds and then in between and the other rounds. I must honestly say I must credit Svetlana. She does it this way. I did it with the chainless single crochet setup, but then this pulls more and now you can control where you put your stitches better. It's why I found out the corner, which I called a corner 5, because it's 5 single crochets divided over 3 stitches, and I could use that better, so that's why. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic day. Show me where you are. Show your progress in my group. Join my group. Comment on everything. Sometimes I don't always see it because there's a lot of things I have to do and read. And sometimes my reply can be a little bit later. If I'm too late, send me an email or send me a message via Facebook Messenger. I see those directly because I get a ping. Good. This is it. I hope you enjoyed it and have fun. Happy hooking. I can't type that anymore in Facebook because I don't want the group to be banned, and sometimes Facebook has a weird algorithm and they see happy hookers and they ban the group immediately because it's just a silly joke and I don't want to go the group down because of a joke. So see you for a next tutorial one day. I will do this for overlay mosaic, for interlocking filet crochet in the round, which will be a little bit more of an effort because I'm still struggling writing the pattern down. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.